Derby County have 8 games to secure survival in the EFL Championship. Just a few weeks ago, Derby County made the decision to part ways with former manager Paul Warne, who secured promotion from League One back to the Championship, and they replaced him with manager John Eustace from Blackburn Rovers in those playoff positions. Now Derby County find themselves just 1 point away from safety, with survival in the offing for the Derby County outfit. But what is going to happen, and how are they going to do it? Derby County face 4 home games and 4 away games in their final 8 as they look to secure more points than Cardiff City as they look to survive in the EFL Championship. Now obviously for Derby County there's been a miraculous turnaround in the last 3 games, picking up 3 wins in 3 games, including a 2-1 victory over Blackburn Rovers, a 2-0 win versus Coventry City, and a 3-2 win away from home versus Plymouth Argyle, which is just the 2nd victory of the season away from home. Now Derby County come back from the international break a little bit later than everybody else with a home game in midweek against Preston North End. They then face up against Swansea City away from home before facing up against Burnley, the promotion chasers. There's then Pompey on the road before facing up against Luton Town at home. West Bromwich Albion then head to their home ground as they host Derby County with Hull City, the final away game of the season before the curtain closes on the Championship campaign, with Derby County up against Stoke City on that final day. Now obviously there's a lot for Derby County and John Eustace to get ready for and look into heading into this final 8 games of the season, and obviously there'll always be the talking points around those injuries. But Derby County have found a system and found a way that they can win games, and that's something that they're going to have to take into this next run of games. Now for Derby County, it's imperative that they stay in this division. Obviously, we've spoke over the course of the last few weeks about the importance of the summer rebuild and having the right amount of money to be able to do that, and whether that come from investment or internally, Derby County need to be in the Championship to get the best possible players into the building. Now under John Eustace, Derby County didn't start well. I think he lost his first 4 games, but ultimately they've won the last 3, and that's given them a real shot in surviving in this division. And Derby County obviously face a lot of those teams around them, and when looking at the Championship League table, Derby County face up against Hull City, Stoke City, Luton Town, Pompey, Swansea, Preston, and these are all teams who can get dragged in to that relegation battle. Just tomorrow morning we're going to do a video looking into each of those teams individually and how I feel like the end of this season is going to go. And for me, it's really difficult to predict where this league table is going to end up. But if Derby County can pick up 4 more victories across the course of the final 8 games, that would give Derby County 12 more points and put us on 50. And I think that would be guaranteed safety in this division. Now, obviously, you can let me know what you're expecting Derby County to do. But obviously, what we need to do purely depends on what those around us needs to do. If Cardiff only pick up 1 more point across the course of the next 8 games, then all Derby County needs to do is pick up 2. But obviously then you have to look at Luton Town, you have to look at Plymouth Argyle, and for me, when you look at the fixtures that Derby County have available to them, there is some very, very winnable ones. I think Preston is a winnable game. I think Swansea is a winnable game. I think Luton Town at home, a very, very winnable game. And you obviously then go to the final day versus Stoke City, which I do believe is a winnable game. Now, obviously, it would be really nice for Derby County to have this all said and done when they head on the road to Hull City on the 26th of April, the week before the season ends. That would be, in my opinion, having it all sealed on that day would be brilliant. It obviously takes away from the energy and the upset that could potentially go on that final day of the season. But what Derby County have to do to make that happen is win. That's literally it. They have to keep winning. And there, in my opinion, is a world where Derby County beat Preston and both Swansea and take 5 wins from 5. There's also an opportunity that Preston could beat Derby, so could Swansea. Like, we can't get too ahead of ourselves. We can't get too high. We can't get too low. But what we've got to do is not slip back into that mindset that we had a few months ago, a few even weeks ago, where it felt like we was going into games on the back foot every week. And I feel like John Eustace has done in the last 3 games a proper service to this Derby County squad and really turn them back into what Derby County should be, and that is a championship powerhouse that can beat anybody. And picking up that result against Blackburn, who were in the playoffs, then Coventry, who had won, 9 in 10, something like that. It's an absolutely unbelievable run for Derby County. And then obviously taking that away victory versus Plymouth Argyle is just another thing to add to the tally of things that we couldn't do 3-4 weeks ago, but now we're finding a rhythm. And for me, it's going to be very important to see Mendes Lang back fit, and really important to see the likes of Corey Blackett-Taylor back in the squad, to see how they can then impact proceedings going forward, because then we've got more of an option of plan A and plan B, which at the moment we don't really have, given the lack of depth and lack of options we have at the moment due to injuries and things like that. Now, obviously this season, it's been very, very tough for Derby County fans. It's been very tough for the Derby County players. And looking at the fixture list a few weeks ago, if you'd have told me we'd pick up 9 points from facing Blackburn, Coventry and Plymouth, I'd probably have laughed at you. But now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that we could potentially have 15 points in 6 games after the Preston North End, Swansea and Burnley game. And that's something which has come as a result of John Eustace and his importance and how he's completely changed the narrative with this team. Now, I spoke earlier today about Marcus Harness and his importance to this group, and I don't think you can take away from the quality that has been found by Derby County and by John Eustace in Marcus Harness, because he's completely been revolutionised over the course of the last few weeks. And you can even look at a player like Ibu Adams. I think he's been so much better since probably that Blackburn game in comparison to what he was before. And obviously you then talk about the problems I had with Ibu Adams earlier on in the season was all to do with technical ability. Now for me, you haven't noticed those issues as much lately in those wins. That's because he's doing his dirty work, but he's also got a player in Harrison Armstrong who can pick up the ball and make things happen. You've also got better players in like Ryan Niambi, Kane Wilson in the wing back positions. You've got Jerry Yates and Marcus Harness who are actually making things happen when the ball goes forward, and that's something which we haven't seen for a lot of this season, and it's something which I hope can carry on into the final 8 games. It's going to be a massive 4 weeks, 5 weeks when we return from this international break in 10 days time. It's a massive, massive period for Derby, and it will be realistically vital to this club to secure safety in this division. Investment is going to be coming at some point, and in my opinion, I think our league status sort of holds all the cards on that investment. And you can obviously let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, hit that like button as well to push this video to brand new audiences, because later on we're going to be talking all about the championship running. We're going to be talking about Pompey, we're going to be talking about Oxford, the likes of Stoke, the likes of Cardiff, Plymouth Argyle, and who I think has the best possible opportunity to secure survival in this division. Who is it going to be? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll catch you in my next one.